All right. GM, everyone. GM, welcome in. We appreciate your attendance. But yes, GM, happy to be back. What is today? Thursday? Wednesday?
Thursday. I'm back on stream and off of work. Thank fucking God. GM, I didn't like the intro music that much at first, but it's really grown on me. And in fact, now it remains stuck in my head because it's such a repetitive guitar riff. It remains stuck in my head for like half the day at work after we finished the space. I was like,
he's sitting there on the assembly line doing Guitar Hero.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you what, dude. There was a real phase in my life where I was a face-melting Guitar Hero expert, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit.
I wasn't an expert, but I did pretty well at Guitar Hero. Then we tried the band thing, and it
Rock Band?
Yeah, it wasn't vibing, bro.
So much.
It was not, yeah. So, but anyways, welcome into the space, everyone. We do have a guest coming in at 11:30. That's going to be the MB.io guys. Multibank guys are going to be coming in. I think Gremlin and Travis. Are you hearing a feedback in my mic?
Maybe a slight ring or something?
Yeah, I'm hearing that too.
Yeah, a little bit.
What is
that? Yeah, I'm definitely hearing it now that you said that.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it's something.
Time to flip the desk.
No, something's just up a little bit too high, so I'll figure this out. This is an easy fix here, so it's just something's up. My decibel level's just too high, and I haven't changed anything. So, but either way, we continue on. GM Kenny Powers, what's crack-a-lackin', sir?
Yo, what's good, Cheese? Chilling, man. Checking the market, seeing how we're doing.
Nice. Yeah, it's like every time I talk, this motherfucker's doing this. Fucking Roadcaster. That's going to be the next guest. This is going to be a Roadcaster, so I can tell him how much bullshit we have.
Oh, good. Well, yeah, we'll actually have a justification for the fucking 45 minutes of troubleshooting your setup that we do every day.
Yeah, well, it's not every day, but it definitely fucking happens from time to time.
When did you get the new like placeholder for the stream? You know what I mean? Like the openings thing. I just noticed that. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. I made that the other day. I just had, I think Grok, I had ChatGPT make the image, and then Grok was playing around with different videos. And like, I was like, GMB was like, oh, bro, you need a different thing. You need something with like your face to attract people in. And me and Juice had already talked about it anyways, like changing it up and doing something else. Like doing the face, I think would be dumb. Like I don't necessarily stream like that, I guess, in a way. I don't know.
We do, we don't. Like, this is like typical streamer shit versus Web3 streamer shit, right? Yeah. Like, I think that makes sense if you're a normal web streamer. I personally, when it comes to Web3 stuff and a Web3, like, conversation, man, I think everybody needs to get back to putting a PFP community on their back, representing the culture, fucking standing on a hill and being willing to die on that bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I agree with you.
That might have been a little much, but
what's crack-a-lackin'? Thank you for tuning in on the X stream. I guess I should have said abstract stream, even though he's a pudgy.
Shout out to Saucy, dude.
Yeah,
Saucy puts on some really cool stuff in the abstract Discord from time to time. Just teaching people how to build with different AIs and stuff. I'm not smart enough to fucking. It's been a couple weeks since I was in there, but it was really cool.
Is that bad that I'm shouting him out for watching me on X and not on abstract? Like,
yeah, you could have pretended like he was watching on abstract.
Like he was watching on abstract. Damn, cook, Saucy, you cook. You done melted the fucking cheese. Yeah. So, either way, got heading into Mother's Day weekend. Just realized that when my sister messaged me asking, "What are you getting Mom for Mother's Day?" And yeah, didn't realize.
Is your sister older or younger than you?
Everybody's older than me. I have 8 brothers and sisters older than me. Well, total 8 of us. So 9 of us total. So, but yeah, she's
damn.
She keeps me in check. Yeah, my parents they were at it, bro.
Bro, they were fucking.
They were getting at it. Yeah. There's like the biggest gap of time there is about
Oh
would
god,
say-
now I have an image of cheese with a wig on fucking burned into my brain that I'm
Yeah,
never gonna get rid of.
I would say the biggest gap of time there is probably 2.5 years apart, somewhere around there between all of us. They said they originally wanted 13 kids, but then the one before me was a miscarriage, and then after me, the doctor said no more fucking kids. You can't do it. So, yeah,
My dad wanted a whole football team right up until they met me.
Yeah.
By the time my sister was born, I was already starting to turn into a real demon, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, every picture of me up until I was like 7 years old, it does not matter what the pictures are, I'm doing this. That's it.
Wow.
I'm just flipping off the camera in every single picture that we have from when I was like, old enough to fucking raise my finger.
I don't.
It was pretty wild. So, but yeah, so I don't
Be
know.
right
So we gotta
back.
get all
Speaking
that
of
figured out.
mothers, my mother is trying to call me right now. She doesn't
Yeah, tell her,
had this conversation a bajillion times, but let me make sure everything's
Yeah.
all right, BRB.
Yeah, let's go.
well, hopefully everything's fine. Anyways, Rug, how you doing this morning, GM?
Bro, I'm good, man. You son of a bitches keep fading me. If you'd have just bought some slot when I came in and told you guys, you'd have been up tremendously again.
Yeah, where those things are cooking, they were above 0.1, right? Yeah, that
Yeah, no.
0.128, yeah.
Fuck the NFT, the token.
Oh, the token, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slunks is doing pretty good. Looks like they burned about another 1,000 from yesterday. So 1,100. Now they're down to 82.55.
Yeah, I think the token
those,
price now is $5 a token, bro.
$5 a token.
Yes, that's what.
How long is this Ponzi gonna fucking last?
Like Keith Sweat, make it last forever, bro. Who cares?
I hear that. Yeah, this is hey, all it takes is a good fucking Ponzi. And
Yo, shout out Keith Sweat, bro. He was legit. All right.
oh man. That's crazy, bro. And you're still in the coin?
How does it work? Each NFT gets an X amount of allocation of the token? Is that how it works? Rug?
Wait, say it again.
How does it work? Like each NFT gets allocation of token?
Each NFT has a designated amount of slop to it, and it depends on the amount of pixels and how sloppy the damn thing is, like literally. And so once you're able to send this thing to the void, aka burn, then you'd be able to convert it. So I think you probably have like 3 more hours or so until the people who hold swamps are able to burn those things and then get their tokens. So for example, just like do a base number. So like 40 tokens right now is like 200 something bucks. I bought 100 tokens earlier for around like 220. So I'm up crazy right now.
Nice. Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday. We went into it pretty in depth. Like I'm sharing it live on stream now. You have your NFT that you had, Kenny, and then it's kind of like normies where you're merging the pixels together. And the more of these NFTs you can merge into one another on the same tier, the more sloppy they get. And the more sloppy they are, the more token you get from said NFT.
I'm trying to understand it though. So you get an allocation of token for the NFT is it like a 404 where if you sell the tokens you lose the NFT, or how does that work?
No.
Exactly.
You're burning the NFT.
Yeah, you're burning
So you no longer
NFT.
have an NFT, you just have the token.
Yes, but then there's a way that you can actually retrieve new ones from the pool.
Yeah.
There's a pool of these things.
Yeah.
And they'll be generated differently.
Interesting.
I'll send you the diagram.
Yeah, I'm sharing it live on stream. You can go to slunks.xyz, but it's a lot, man. There's a lot, like I said yesterday, there's a lot of thought gone into this. And yeah, you can retrieve ones that have been sent to the burn. So they got to be sitting in some, they're actually not burned because they can be retrieved, but I think you have to pay in the slop token to get those out.
Bingo.
Yeah. Because there's only so many of the NFTs that are on a certain level. So you have a survivor NFT, you have the results, which after burning so many NFTs, you get your results, and then you have the donor, which is all the burns, and you can buy them back out of the burn. But it cost you the token. But it originally started with 10,000 NFTs, and then now it's down to 8,200 and whatever. So, so the NFTs don't ever really truly burn, but the more expensive the token gets, the more expensive it costs to get these out. And yeah, it's a really unique setup the way they did this. So it's just a matter of how long are people going to play the game, and you know, how well is this going to go? I mean, I'm looking at them right now at their leaderboard. You have Slop Kings leaderboard, and then a most merged leaderboard. Then you have whales, slop hoarders, merge lords. Like, so there's been somebody put a lot of thought into this. So
Bro, super dope. It's one of the dopest token drops that I've seen in a long time, man. And I'm hoping other people maybe learn to mimic this in some sort of way, because it actually does bring value to holders while keeping them interested. And it has like a mechanism so it won't just crash the token completely, you know? So it's pretty slick, man.
yeah,
It's a cool looking site. That's the first I've seen this site, actually.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
I've
a
been
lot
listening to you
it.
talk about it, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Normies, they're up as well, 20%, 0.17 ETH. Pretty wild, man. Seeing some of these collections come out of nowhere. And I mean, bro, they're passing up collections that have been around for years and years. It's just they're innovating, they're doing something new, they're finding what the space wants. And obviously, people always love a good Ponzi. It's just a matter of, are you buying the top of the Ponzi or the bottom of the fucking Ponzi? So, yeah. Kenny, you want to kind of run through some market stuff real quick before the MB guys come in?
Yeah, sure. Bitcoin not looking all that great right now. We're trending back down to 80,000. We're at 80,088. Potentially going to dip below 80,000, which isn't great. It's down about 1.7%. ETH down about 2.5%. 22.98. Solana 88.42, slightly down. Not really sure what the catalyst for the Bitcoin sell-off is. Obviously, you know, we had some positive news around the potential, you know, end of the war over in Iran. Michael Saylor did come out and say that he was going to potentially sell some Bitcoin to cover the dividends they had to pay out, which initially spooked the market, but then it bounced back over where it was prior to him saying that. But since then has kind of been bleeding out to the downside. So yeah, on the verge of, you know, staying above 80,000, 81,000 was the number that we really wanted to stay over, 81.5 really. But we'll see how it plays out. But other than that, you got Venice token, BBB sitting at 1244, continues to just rip up another 12% on the day. And then you got Hyperliquid sitting at 42.35, down about 2.2%. Zcash did take a little bit of a dip yesterday, got as low as 537, but has since then bounced back to $566. So slightly red on the day, 1.37%, but still holding relatively well considering it was at $320 last week, you know, and it's holding in this mid $500 range, which is good. Toncoin sitting at $2.40, up another 7.74% from yesterday. So the continuation of that rally for Toncoin. Yeah, and then other than that, you know, you got BitTenzer sitting over $300, which is good. They're bouncing back. Not a whole lot of crazy stuff. Saw Fartcoin run back up to could move, but we'll see. That hantavirus is, I guess, trending socially. So now, granted, there's about 5 PVPs just like it. So you got to pick and choose which one you want to roll with. The USDUC, we saw it run up to 23 mil yesterday on the back of the Binance listing. Since then, back down 27% today, back down to 12.2 mil. So down about 50% from the all-time or the recent high that it got on the Binance listing. So curious to see what happens there. But yeah, other than that, NFTs a little bit flat. Obviously, Slonks are the top mover. $1.2 million in trading volume over the past 24 hours on Slonks. 1.3, I take it back. But yeah, they're up another 36%, sitting at 0.106 right now. Other than that, not a whole lot of action. Bored Apes back over 10. They did dip slightly below 10 ETH yesterday, but back up to 10.07. Shout out Adam Weitzman. Saw him at the fucking Knicks game, sitting courtside, right next to the Knicks bench.
He's always courtside, bro. That guy,
Bro, literally
he's
2
always
feet away. He was sitting next to Fat Joe and some girl. Man, he was just chilling, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he's always courtside there, but he's also like one of the largest donors to Syracuse. And he has like full access to Syracuse's basketball team. And
that's cool.
yeah, so he's a massive sports fan.
A home turf, man. Shit,
yeah,
that's
so
crazy.
he does he does quite a bit. So on the sports side of things. But yeah, I mean, when you're a billionaire, I mean, what else are you gonna do? You know, you can either go play golf or keep making more billions and not spend it. This guy's out here fucking proliferating all NFTs and you know, jumping on courtside seats every chance he can get. So
Blame him.
I'd be right there doing the same fucking thing. I don't know if I'd be at a Knicks game, but whatever.
I mean, he is from New York. It does
No,
make sense that he would
I
root
know,
for the team that he's living in.
I know. But anyways, yeah. Well, markets are doing market shit. Michael Saylor hasn't sold any Bitcoin yet, has he?
No, he hasn't. But
We
he
just
did
talked
mention
about it.
that. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what that.
But yeah,
does.
other than that, equities continue to rally. Looking at the stock market, green on both the Nasdaq and S&P. Dow Jones is slightly down 53 points, but a continued rally to all-time highs. Gold and silver are ripping. Silver's up about $5, back up to $82. Gold up $72 on the day, back up to $47.66. So something to look at if you're leverage trading.
Would you be trading more meme coins right now, or would you be trading stocks and like where are you at? Because I heard y'all talking about this, and then I was actually talking to Mavin in this morning, and she was asking about it. So like where would you play around at right now?
I mean, it's kind of tough to say. Crypto essentially over the past, like if you're looking at a 6-month time frame, look at what crypto's done in the past 6 months and look at what, you know, the stock market has done in the past 6 months. We're hitting all-time highs day over day in the stock market, while crypto remains to be pretty flat. I mean, we are back up to 80,000 on Bitcoin, but, you know, like it depends on your risk you know, like how risky do you want to be? I think obviously stocks are the safer play that have been doing really well. Crypto's a little bit more volatile. So, you know, it is what it is. But look, you know, bottom buying is a good idea on crypto. At some point, we're going to rally back up. We're starting to essentially, you know, I mean, I feel like the bottom is in on Bitcoin back at 64,000. We're sitting at 80 right now. So, I mean, there's opportunity in both of them. I like to play both. I have my stocks and then I have my crypto. So there's opportunity in all markets. You just got to pick and choose your battles. You know what I'm saying?
Depends what you have an edge in, right? Like what are you focused on? You know, what information channels have you curated more for? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think it's just a good idea to not be all in on one asset class. You know what I'm saying? I think it's good to diversify. So yeah, I mean, obviously I told you guys, I've been holding stocks for 10, 20 years, you know, and done very well over there. And then I have crypto that, you know, I've been holding for 7, 8 years now at this point. So, you know, it's just good to always have exposure to all markets because there's always a rotation of capital from one thing to another. And you just kind of want to, you know, be in all markets, just that way you can capitalize on the momentum when it comes on either market. So it's just a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I trying to see what else. I'm trying to send over some links and stuff to these guys.
Say what's up to Lil Wolf real quick.
Yeah,
Lil Wolf,
go ahead.
brother, we've been up here since we opened the space. What's up, little homie?
Yo, GM. Can you hear me?
Good, sir. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep, got you.
All right. So, did y'all just see the final Bosu tweet?
No,
I didn't see the
say?
tweet. I noticed they pumped though. They're up 20% on the
Are
day.
they making the move to ETH?
They're also migrating to ETH.
Yep.
Yeah, that was expected. Yeah, final Bosu is moving to Ethereum May 14th. Details in the next posts. On the 14th.
Where were they originally?
They're on Abstract. On the 14th, a collection freezes on Abstract. Snapshot of all EVM wallet holders. NFTs airdrop to your EVM wallet on Ethereum mainnet. Same characters, same token IDs. Nothing to claim. Everything lands in your wallet automatically.
I just
The
hope
way it
that
should
they
be. And I know Jitoshi's not behind that.
What? Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this is the right play. There's a lot of fucking there's a lot of
Well, look, I mean,
anime.
it worked out for Fugs, right?
It did.
NFTs just aren't really what you should be looking at as far as making money on. So like you should just expect to lose money on every single NFT you buy. Period.
That's good advice. Yeah, I mean, you should be if you're gonna collect NFTs, you should collect them because you like them, right? I mean, unless you've got some really early alpha on something, and there is something like a Ponzi around this, like what's the fucking slonks thing? You know, if you've got early alpha on something, sure, but other than that, like you should be buying NFTs because you like the community, the team, you like the art, you want to collect them because you want them. Not as some sort of a financial device.
Just like there's a liquid issue, you know.
Well, and look, you could make the argument that going to Ethereum from Abstract certainly opens the collection up to a lot more liquidity. It also opens it up to a lot more competition too, though, right?
It also opens you up to eternity.
Everybody calm down.
Hey.
Fucking hell. Calm the fuck down.
Go ahead, Mal. Sorry, my friend Dejani gets very excited.
I'm gonna always be bullish on something returning to mainnet. Like that is the Remilia thesis right now is return to mainnet, and it tickles my balls to see that someone is doing it.
Well, look, I am a fan of trying things. Oh, good God. Go ahead, Dejani. Go ahead, Dejani. It's yours.
I just say the world computer. Nothing.
The world computer. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know, man. I like L2s. I think it's cool to branch off and have something if there's a reason for it, right? I mean, Abstract has the portal. It's to onboard normies, make it a little less scary, have a curated bunch of apps and collections that are put forth, you know.
Okay,
I mean,
but if that's not done correctly, that can be a very predatory approach to it, right? As far you could lead people in a certain direction and they could get absolutely fucking wrecked, or you could just let them own like to their own devices, like kind of like how we were, and made out pretty good. You know?
Right,
you just gotta be careful how you do it.
The people, especially like yourself, that are like on Ethereum super early, you are at the cutting edge of tech moving forward, right? Like you were on ETH. I don't know when you got into all of this, right? But like your grandmother, your uncle, your like little nephew, like, there's a lot of folks that aren't, super tapped in, and they kind of need a little bit of direction, So I get the thesis on the Abstract portal makes perfect sense to me. So that's why I play around a lot over there. But yeah, I also am a big fan of Ethereum NFTs because it is the mother chain, right?
It's like totally taking Abstract out of it because I don't really know what's going on over there. So they're probably doing everything just fine, I would assume. But like, look at Phantom Wallet, right? You go to like the trending page and then you send a normie, they're going to assume that buying the number one trending is going to be the good thing to do. They're going to buy it. They're going to buy the top. They're going to get wrecked. So
yeah,
like,
well, and that had to happen to me too.
Really just isn't the best thing to do.
Yeah, it took a lot of liquidity to even get my legs under me in NFTs.
You guys know the on-ramp Transtark? They used to be like a big just like on-ramp through like MetaMask. They still owe me $600 fucking dollars.
Those bitches,
dude. So they let me purchase this is how far back it was. They let me purchase the Matic, right? But then they're like, "Oh, you're here. You're in New York. We can't send you the Matic." emailing back and forth for weeks and weeks and weeks. Never got my fucking money back.
What a bunch of bitches. All right, let's say what's up to Johnny. I know we got guests coming in soon, so let's get around to all the heads here real quick. What's up to Johnny?
Oh, what's up? What's up? Yeah, I'm creating content with my parish, but I wanted to come back to Final Boso and say they have been on mainnet, then they switched to abstract, and now they are coming back to mainnet. I mean, US collection
Bosu
can
was
do.
never on mainnet.
No, I know what he's saying. The original Genesis collection was on mainnet, and then they launched this collection on abstract. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Johnny.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And now he is trying to go on mainnet, but if he doesn't shift and really start to ship something, then you can change your chain 100 times. I mean, I don't have any Final Bosus, but let's be honest, if you don't ship actually something for the community, the chain is not a problem. I mean, I like Kevin and what they're doing, but it would be just funny if you think it's because of abstract people are not buying.
Well, hold on. Let's just be real. You have a broader audience in the Ethereum NFT marketplace than you do on abstract.
You have a million collections on Ethereum, and a lot of them are worth $1. You have hundreds of collections which have been worth several ETH, and they are worth $5.
Let me ask you this, Johnny: what has Fugs done differently since they went to mainnet?
They play the game with
Fugs at least put out their collector's profile and stuff. And look, I'm with you on this, Johnny.
I mean, they haven't really shipped anything since they moved to ETH mainnet. Anything notable that I know of personally? I could be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. But my point is, they've doubled their floor price ever since moving over there. So, what was the catalyst for their floor price doubling if they really haven't shipped anything?
I don't know. The only thing I've seen is a collector profile. So short of that, I have the slightest clue what the fuck they did.
Well, and the collector profile was before the migration.
Wasn't there like a huge key man shift within like the hierarchy of the collection? Or am I just
no? Yacht's always been the main. Yeah, he's.
You said with Final Bosu.
Final Bosu. No.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think so.
Always been there. Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. See, I wasn't sure if like Jatoshi rugged and CTO or you know what I mean. I wasn't sure. I'm assuming this sentiment once they bridged, whoever was in charge of the key opinion of the collection started pushing a better sentiment.
I look at the end of the day. We gotta get it pushing.
Yeah, we gotta push this off. So
I'm curious to see how this will go because it is again. There's a lot more liquidity on ETH. There's also a lot more competition. Final Bosu is a niche kind of an NFT thing too because it's an anime PFP. So they actually have. I mean, they're going to be direct competitors with Azuki now. If you want an anime PFP on Ethereum, you go and you look at Azukis, Azuki Elementals, even Azuki Beans, and they've got to compete with that now. Now the art for Final Bosu is really good art, but again, there's a lot of competition to be had here. It's going to be interesting to see what's up.
Yeah, it is. All right. No more hands. Well, put your damn hand down. We got shit to do. We have Travis and Gremlin here from MB. Guys, can you hear us pretty good?
Yes, sir.
On this side, Travis. Travis, just speak through X Spaces if you can.
Oh, speak through the X Space? Okay, there we go.
Yep. Are you up here on stage? I see Gremlin on stage.
Yeah, he is. I'm gonna speak through the main account because I have it set up so it's easier for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice to be here, guys.
Yeah, thank you for
welcome.
coming in, bro. Guys, if anyone is wanting to see what we are doing, what we're talking about, we are live on stream with the guys as well. I will get the live stream pinned at the top. You don't have to leave the app. All you got to do is click into the stream, and you can watch us over there as well. And let me copy this link, and then we can get at it. But yeah, Gremlin, how you doing this morning? Doing good?
All good, man. All good. Well, afternoon for me, but GM to you.
Yeah, I know. When I seen you put the reminder or whatever it was in the chat, and it said 5 p.m. for you, and I was like, oh shit.
5 p.m. for me, 7 p.m. for Travis. So we are spread out a little bit because he's in Dubai right now. I'm back in Italy, but I'll be joining him in a week or so.
Nice.
But yeah,
nice.
Very glad to be here. I can't wait to shoot the breeze with you guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited. I was actually in one of your spaces last week and had a pretty good time over there. And yeah, it was a lot of stuff that I haven't known about, especially with multi-bank. And there's so much stuff there, to dive into. So I definitely want to get into that. Travis, are you good? I see him fidgeting around back there.
Man, I don't know. Am I good or too loud?
No,
I hear you perfect,
great,
man.
Yeah,
you
no,
sound
we got
great.
you loud and clear.
All right.
Good deal.
Sound good. You're nice
I'm
center
listening to you through
frame.
my ear, and I'm speaking through this, and I got my little microphone right there. So I'm in a 2-second delay, but that's all right.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any perfect setup. Like I had to reset my Rodecaster while Kenny was doing the market report because I was hearing I was hearing like some light feedback through my Rodecaster, and I'm like, this piece of shit. It's like
The perfect setup is the simplest setup. You guys got all this tech plugged in. I'm talking to you on an iPhone and looking at you on a MacBook, and that's it. There's no microphones. There's no I'm literally, this is my setup's so simple. My computer monitor is my backlight. I don't even have a light in here, bro.
Yeah,
That's good.
Well, I don't, maybe we're just trying too hard. We're tryhards. I guess that's all it is to it.
Hey,
so.
man, there's points for effort for sure.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes the stuff will route it back through, especially if you're talking through one. So I don't know. You got some magic going over there for being an idiot.
That's right,
See,
dude.
There we go. At least Travis is not afraid to call you by your
The old saying, keep it simple, stupid,
Hey,
right? I live by that ethos.
A lot of people come up here and go antidote. So I'm glad Trav can read.
I got called anal dot yesterday.
Oh, that's
that was the first.
That's pretty good.
Anal dot. Dude, I'm going to call you anal dot instead. That's way funnier.
Whatever pays the bills, I guess.
That's way fucking better. But anyways, Travis Gremlin, whoever wants to go first, you want to kind of give some background on who you are and your time in the space and whatnot, and we'll dive into MB here.
Right on. Yeah, I'll go ahead and rock out. So my name is Travis Wright, and I'm an alcoholic.
No,
I'm not. I used to be a marijuana-aholic, but I have since stopped that as well because it is illegal in Dubai.
Of course.
So
we would never use illegal substances.
I have some friends in Dubai, and they're that dude's afraid to get on Discord, more or less. Have some weed around there. So
So I've been in this space for a long time. I have gone through all 4 of the webs. So I say we are in the 4th web, right?
Interesting.
So web 1. Actually, I was in web 0 too. So one of my very first memories was my mom brought home Atari Pong. You guys remember Pong?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Anal Dot's a little young, so.
A little before. I'm about 37. I'm about 37, and my parents resisted video games. My first system was a Super Nintendo. I could have been on the Nintendo at my age, but my parents resisted the tech. They held out.
That's probably smart. Probably smart for sure. So I remember that, and I was so intrigued by that little RC adapter thing or whatever that connected to the back of the TV. And I was like, this is wild tech. And I remember being a little 3-year-old kid going, wow, technology is going to be wild because this is the start of it, right? And so this moved on down the road, man. Web 1 was you could read it, right? Web 1, you could read it, and you go to Yahoo to go to a directory. Web 2, it added that social layer, so now you can read, now you can write. And then I wrote a book with Wiley called Digital Sense, and while doing that, I was like, dude, blockchain seems like Web 3. And that was in 2016 when I was writing that, and I was like, dude, we're probably in Web 3 now. And so Web3, you could own stuff, and now Web4, the web builds itself, right? You were using these autonomous agents, and you're pulling in intelligence. It's doing all this stuff on your behalf. So we're firmly in Web4, that where most people are still not seeing that, but I'm here to help people understand it. So I love this space, and I've worked with Grim for a while on some spaces and some things. And I said, dude, when I learned about multi-bank, here's what I learned. Whoa, it's TradFi meets DeFi meets real world assets. I was like, wow, so the adults are coming into this space in a unique way. That convinced me, and I said, I will come to Dubai when they ask me to. And the first guy I wanted to bring on was Mr. Grimm. Mr. Grimm came along, and we're having ourselves a party.
Nice. Yeah, I get what you're saying about the Web4 side of things, because before I jumped into Web3 full time, I moved military families cross country in the United States. I drove an 18-wheeler. I had crews of guys working for me all over the country. And I've already built 2 websites. I'm working on my 3rd website. One, I'm hoping to be able to sell to a brand. It's like, I never would have thought I'd been able to do this kind of shit. And like, you know, to now be running agents and having all this going right now, like I'm so pissed because right now I'm timed out. I'm rate limited, and I'm like, shit, you know. So it's like, and I never thought I would. I had a friend, Juice, that was trying to get us into this like from day one. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I just kept pushing it off.
He literally tried to bully us into it.
Yeah. And
now, we held out, but we're there now.
Now, when I'm going to bed, I'm sitting there thinking, like, what is my agent doing right now? Like, you know, and it's like, so yeah, I agree with you. Like, whether the term is going to stick with everyone, like we're in this Web4 mode now.
We could even be in Web 5.
Yeah.
I don't like Web3. I like 4th web.
Well, you know, if you're calling Web 0,
and I said, let's go.
If you're calling Web 0 Atari, I don't know, man. I mean, I might work in the original Web 0. I print books, dog. So I literally, I think that might be Web 0. We might be in Web 5 with this AI stuff.
Web -1.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. You're not that old where you're beating it in with a metal pick and stone tablets. So
no, they have those for your private keys, though, for Bitcoin, right? You see those, you take your little thing and you put it in the deal, and hammer it in there. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Grim, what about you? What's your story?
Oh boy, where to start? Well, definitely not as experienced as Travis. Travis is just it's like a world of knowledge when you go through like what he's done in the past.
You're too kind. You should. You should.
Is he like a rusty Swiss Army knife? Is that what you would say?
I don't know about the rusty part. He's definitely a Swiss Army knife. He's everywhere. But I come from a background in technology. I've been always entertained and curious about technology since the early age. I also played around with an Atari. I had a Commodore. I went through all the consoles. So I had a Super Nintendo like you did, and everything after that. And computers, I built them since I could put my hands on them. And I worked for Apple for 11 years. So I grew the market in Europe, in Italy specifically. And I just got so interested in the way that technology was evolving in Web3, and I dive headfirst into it. And in that moment, I was like, well, there is more to this than everybody's seeing. The technology is actually amazing. The way that you can connect with people, the way that it brings communities together, and that's where I started getting interested in how community were built and how people were on a different level. The openness, the way that you interact with people, even in the NFT era. I call it a past era because I know it's getting a resurgence now, but whatever.
Yeah, I think NFTs are finding a new ground. Like they're finding their new place, I would say, because not everything's booming like it did prior. So it's, there's only certain brands that are kind of, they're getting out of the pack and making themselves, I guess cementing themselves more as a standard rather than, like these Ponzi's we were talking about earlier. They're
Absolutely. And what I agree with you about is also the fact that there was no distinction of who you are, where you came from. And you could use these NFTs as your persona and you present yourself. And people appreciated people because of their reputation, not because of where they came from or who they were. And I thought that was amazing in Web3. And that's why I got so into the community building part of it. And I was a community architect, work with so many brands on like strategy, advisory, not in the front line, but always in the back, because I love to be the orchestrator, not the person that is taking the limelight and being the influencer. So that's why I never looked at exploding my Twitter account. I'm not an influencer. I'm just a guy that likes to play around with technology. And I've done spaces for I think 4 or 5 years now, more than 1,000 spaces produced. I've done shows with Paris Blockchain Week. I've done Philippine Blockchain Week. I did New York. I've done the WLF space when they did the announcement. I've been everywhere. I work with Pukecast. I work with Mixie for over a year.
Yeah, Puke's a good guy.
Oh, one of my best friends.
Yeah.
We go way back. We kind of started the whole journey together because he was after the Daily Dose. We remember with Ryan Carson.
Oh yeah,
was doing the spaces.
I'm looking at a fucking Ryan Carson live stream right now. So yeah, I'm not watching it, but I see it on my feed. He's fucking all in on SpaceX and AI. But yeah, Puke's a good guy. I know I met him early on when we were both creators with Rug Radio. So yeah. So
I'm
really,
part of that group.
Yeah,
I know Farouk very well. I know Loxy very well. I know everybody in that team. Amazing people, very, very good energy. And I'm glad, they reached the point of where they're actually, building things now with Myriad and whatnot. But, I work with Travis. I work with them on Bad Crypto. And I've been listening to Bad Crypto even before I met Travis. It was like my go-to when I was commuting from home to work every day. I used to drive to Milan to work at Apple, and I used to put Bad Crypto because it was one of the only shows that you could actually listen to that was entertaining about crypto. Everything else was like dull and boring, and they actually brought that energy that made you want to listen and understand more, and they talked about like all the good stuff. But it's as soon as this opportunity came around and Travis was like, listen, I'm building something amazing in Dubai. This is something that is gonna, eclipse everything that we've done in the past. And I was like, tell me more. And definitely I see the potential in MBIO. It's an amazing brand. It's got the shortest name, the shortest URL in crypto, or like I've not seen any 4-digit URL around. The only competitor would be Warner Bros, but there are 5 because they got the .com, it's not .io.
Yeah.
So there we are. Here we are.
Nice. Good.
Well, I didn't know you used to listen to Bad Crypto, Grim. Are you hiding that information from me?
I've told you so many times, don't.
Dude, it's so crazy. We've been doing Bad Crypto since 2017. Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah,
I'm on the wrong
place.
All good.
Man, there we go. Actually, I was kind of liking it because I wasn't hearing myself in my ear holes anymore.
Yeah. Well,
I suggest, Travis, mute the tab where you have the stream.
Yeah, mute your
stream. It will make it a lot clearer.
Perfect. No, that's good. I muted there and I'm going here. Yeah, so it's been cool, working with Grim on all these different things. And it was like, looking at what's happened in Web3, like we started Bad Crypto in 2017. So we were one of the only ones at that time. Actually, we're the second longest running one at this point because the other ones have all dropped off, except Unchained. That's the only one that's longest running than ours that we've determined. We could be wrong, but that's okay. I've been wrong before. But our last episode was cool, Jesus. What we did was we took my voice and we took Joel's comms voice, my co-host, and literally built it all with AI through APIs through 11 labs, generated a full show based on my news from wire.fourthweb.ai, pulled in the most important things over the last week, generated the whole podcast. And then just at the very beginning, we're like, this is an experiment in artificial intelligence. It sounded exactly like Joel, but for me, it was like doing over laughing at everything. It was like, oh, Jesus, that was great. Like, dude, calm down, AI Travis. Like, what are you doing?
So the entire space, none of you were even live on the space?
100% zero.
Holy
Now, how long
shit.
ago were you guys doing that?
We just did it last week.
We just did that space. We just had this week.
Oh,
No,
wow.
not the space we were at together. That's the Bad Crypto.
Yeah, Bad Crypto podcast. We were doing that. We did that for episode 807.
That's wild.
Oh, okay, but
it came out pretty good.
Not the space.
If
that
I could tell it to tone down Travis's laughter, it'd be way better.
Not the space.
No,
that
not the space you were in.
Oh, I was like,
no.
ain't no fucking way y'all did that with AI, because like you were literally responding to me in real time. Oh,
We are working some fun stuff though.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that's
look
good.
at these guys, fucking Web 20. What are you talking about, Web 4?
Web 420.
Yeah, Web 420. There you go. Well, let's dive into some multi-bank stuff.
Okay.
And because like RWAs really started popping up on the scene. Kenny, what maybe 3 years ago? I would say
About
like
3 years ago, yeah.
like
right.
the RWA narrative really kind of tied around then. How important are RWAs to multi-bank? I mean, that's,
well, I want to throw it back a little bit because I think RWAs, you couldn't have them without the NFT craze we had.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Because RWAs are essentially little NFTs. They're non-fungible tokens. They're fractionalized ownership of things, right? NFTs are essentially that with the 10,000 sets, and you get one of those. You got your fractional owner of one particular one. And Joel and I with Bad Crypto, we discovered NFTs in December of 2017. We were the first podcast to talk about NFTs when Crypto Kitties came out, and then we talked about Crypto Punks, and we were like, look at this. I guess we were laughing. We're like, what? You mean this Crypto Kitty can have sex with another Crypto Kitty and you can sire a baby kitty? And they were like, whoa, that is potentially genius. Wait a second. So we're going to take two assets and synthesize and create a new asset from it. It was really cool. And so we literally minted almost 1.5 million NFTs on the Wax blockchain. We launched 3 sets of blockchain heroes before Bored Apes launched their series.
Oh, wow.
So we were starting to do that in 2020. We were really early. And that's just kind of the nature of Jesus and idiot about like my career has always been, whoa, what's going on with this? How does this work? I want to figure this out. I figure it out. I teach people. Then I see what's going on. And then I go and so that's how I've kind of navigated through Web 1, 2, 3, and now 4, because I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't play a lot of video games. I don't watch a lot of movies, right? I spend time figuring shit out.
Yeah. Well, finding new trends and then leaning into them. And trying to find them before anyone else. That's the biggest thing.
And so RWAs to me was like, dude, there is $900 trillion worth of assets in the world. And probably by 2030, with inflation, it'll be a quadrillion. And right now, the crypto market is 2.5, 2.6 trillion. Like, it's clear to me that those $900 trillion are going to be tokenized eventually. They're telling you on the news they're doing it. The banks are saying, hey, we're adopting it. We're doing all these ETFs. Stocks are now eligible for to be tokenized. So, like, what's the holdup? it's not going to be too long till these 900 trillion are on chain. So this is the big move. Tokenized stocks, real world assets.
Yeah, Trev, I was going to ask you,
Gold.
what do you think about Hyperliquid, like HIP3? You know, like bringing all these, you know, Mag 7, S&P stocks over to the blockchain, and you can trade 24/5 as of right now. But what were your thoughts on that? Did you think, were you ahead of that? You saw that happening, envisioning it before it actually happened?
Well, we were talking about security tokens, because you know how ICOs were like, they need to be security tokens. Well, I think we were talking about this in like 2018. I was like, dude, I bought an iMac and an iPod back in the day. How cool would it have been if I'd have gotten some Apple coin?
Yeah.
Right? Because now I could have got it's like a Kickstarter. Well, you get a Kickstarter, all you get's the shitty product. Maybe you get the product. Half the time you don't get the product, right? But I was like, man, if I could get some loyalty shares or like some rewards, and that's what we were thinking about, the security token. And there's no reason, like as you said, there's no reason why it should not be open 24/7. Like the markets don't need to close it. You did need to when it was back in the day when you had these yahoos down there with paper going, buy, sell, sell, Mortimer, sell.
Yeah. I mean, the world never stops. So why should the market stop? Why should they close? I agree with you.
And the markets really don't, because it's like America, then Asia, then Middle East, then Europe. Then it's like, really, it's open around the world.
100%. Like you were able to trade in the US at midnight in the European markets, you know, so like it was essentially almost like 24 hours, but you had to use different platforms to be able to trade at certain times. So yeah, I mean, it was inevitable. I'm glad we're trending in that direction, because like you said, the amount of liquidity, the amount of capital in these markets to not be able to be traded 24/7 just doesn't make sense to me personally.
Yeah, Travis. So for people that don't know, they've probably heard the term RWA. Like what is that technically tying to? Is that
a lot of people just think about trading cards at this point when they hear RWA?
Yeah. So like what's all classified as an RWA? I mean, pretty much.
Well, I mean, anything right? That's a real world asset.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, imagine this. You know how people went crazy. People go crazy on trading cards, and I am a fan of great trading cards. My favorite card that I have is a 1941 Ted Williams play ball. That's in like is a PSA 8, but it should have been higher. Anyways, I do like real world. That's a really cool real world asset. However, what would happen if the Louvre was like, we're going to tokenize the Mona Lisa? We're selling them in 1 million pieces. Like, and what's a Mona Lisa worth? How much? I don't even know.
I don't
$40
even know
million or something stupid.
Probably more than that. Yeah.
I don't even know. But let's say it was $40 million, and you could buy $40. You could buy a piece of the Mona Lisa. I bet people would probably be like, hell yeah, I want to buy a piece of the Mona Lisa, right? Yeah. Now imagine all these buildings here in Dubai. I go look out in the building. I see all these buildings up in here. Dude, you can't. As a normal dude, you can't go out and buy one of these big ass buildings that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But if they fractionalize them, you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
So real world assets is the fractionalization of the world, essentially. Because I think of this, Jesus. You know how the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab was like, in the year 2030, you will own nothing and you will be happy.
I got the heebie-jeebies just thinking about that guy right now.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I ain't going to be happy. How about you own a piece of everything and be happy?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, assuming that all things, just through natural inflation go up in value, right? But then you can even build in different thresholds where you actually get utility out of certain things too. You can own just a piece, but you could also own enough to hit a certain threshold where like you get access to certain parts of some building in Dubai because you hold enough to meet that threshold. There's all kinds of different ways you can integrate the RWA narrative.
Those luxury apartments where you're actually getting rent.
Yeah. And that's what I was just sitting here thinking. I'm like, what if Airbnb gave the opportunity for people to own fractionalized ownership in an Airbnb, like in a house?
Yeah.
Like instead
Yeah,
of
for
one
sure.
person owning it, 4 people own it or 10 people
Yeah.
and all those costs and everything. So it
Well,
allows.
I lived in Puerto Rico,
Uh-huh.
right? And I sold my house. So the 2021, the market went merk, and then the market went ba-boom. If there was, when the bull run of 2021, 22, it was popping. Like you could get on some good, there's some good projects out there that you could win on. And so I hit on one and moved to Puerto Rico because of Act 60 and what's going on over there. And then I wanted to move back after I was there for 3 years. And I said, how cool would it be if I could literally have an NFT of my home?
Yeah.
Right? Like, why can't I sell like 5, or can I sell 4 NFTs and keep 5 of them? Sell, 4 nights of my home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My value of my home's worth 600,000. Why can't I sell a few of it? Right? And then when I sold the full home, those people would get paid back and that didn't really exist then. Like Proppy was doing some things, but that really didn't kind of exist. I want to NFT my home, nifty home.
No,
but you couldn't do that then.
Yeah, and that's good. And you could also build up quite a big portfolio if you did that with house after house and you started buying and then you used capital to buy more and then you started just rotating and going. So yeah, it's a good play. Like some of these platforms we see out here, like they're doing like watches. They'll do Rolexes and just high-end watches and whatnot. Like, is that tying into more of RWAs, or are you looking at bigger things than cards and watches?
I kind of look at those as like if they're fractionalized, like big enough that you want to own a piece. Like, do I want to own a piece of a watch that's on an idiot's arm and I don't get it?
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, dude, that's a really nice watch of mine that you're wearing that I own 13% of. But but I do think that NFTs with provenance, they say this watch was made here. This is an official watch. Like my girl's got some Chanel bags, but she doesn't have the official certificate for a couple of them. So you can't prove that that's true, but those should be on the blockchain. But that's not necessarily real world assets in the sort of truest sense of fractionalized ownership. I think of RWAs as fractionalized ownership. The other stuff is just provenance and having certificates of proof of ownership on the blockchain. A little different.
Yeah. So you're talking like deeds and actual
kind of digital deeds.
Yeah.
And I've always thought of this. It's like, we all have a mobile device, right? Like, well, I don't need to go to a bank anymore. Like, and then if you try to sell selling the home process was such a pain in the ass, gloriously a pain in the ass. I got to go to this guy. I got to sign this. I got to go over here. They got to get this document. You got digital deeds are way easier.
Well, and you're also if everything's digital. Right now, if you want to sell a property, you're reliant on the realtor's network, right? But if you can digitize everything and put things out for the whole world, then you have access to a whole world of people that may be looking for homes in that area who maybe your realtor is not even aware of.
You got the percentage of commission you got to pay your realtor, and then you got to pay commission to their realtor. Then you got to pay taxes on this and all these other bullshit fees on top of another bullshit fee with other new magical fees that they add in just to sprinkle it in. You're like, what is all of these fees? Good Lord.
Yeah.
I just want to pay some gas fees.
Yeah. Well, and you can keep all that stuff because you're the originator, you're the closer, you're doing everything. And it's all autonomous process from there. There's no more underwriter it has to go to. It's like everything's done just like that. It's just a few clicks of a button. So
you could say that there's something to the, I don't know, personalized experience of having someone take care of all that shit for you. But is it worth the money that you're losing in the process? I think a lot of people would say no.
So here's my question. So does multi-bank, do they try and bring in more institutional RWAs, or what is multi-bank's role in the RWA?
Well, they partner with big developers, right? So luxury homes and condos and buildings. A partnership with the UFC fighter Khabib Nurmagomedov. There's some stuff that we're working on with him, and there's going to be more commodities being tokenized as well. Like imagine gold being tokenized in a way that you can then get it delivered to you physically. So I think that, the long-term play is we're going to see RW, like with ICO launch pads and token launch pads you'd see back in the day, we'll see more RWA launch pads where people can come in, buy a little bit of this, buy a little bit of that. But a lot of the problems with the current RWA markets is that there's not really good liquidity. Like you can own a piece of something, but it's hard to get in and out of it. And so dealing with businesses and institutions that have lots of liquidity, that's one of the things that's cool about like multi-bank, depending on like we do 20 to $50 billion in volume every day, depending on the day. Right. So it's like, that's where I think that's what got me going when I can't. What's that?
Million or billion?
Billion. So multi-bank is 3 different events. It's not just crypto. It's really TradFi. The crypto side of the arm, the Web3 side, and the RWA side is a relatively new side. Multi-bank's been around since 2005.
Okay.
So we have, like how Bloomberg have where you can do the trading on the terminal, and then they have like Forex and that. So we have Forex and we have the trading and be able to do options and be able to do, derivatives, 100x, 1000x on certain assets. And so we've been around for a long time. And then and all of those trading fees go into the MBG token, which is the utility token for the multi-bank group, right? And then the more trades that happen on multi-bank, then the more MBG tokens that get burned over time. So we're getting ready to do a burn coming up here, which will be a big chunk of tokens being burned.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going through that much volume and the fees coming through that, that's going to be a massive amount of token.
So that was the thought is that think about this over time. Is the more valuable the token gets, the less tokens will get burned. The more tokens that get burned, the less supply there is. And, the aspiration on this thing is to not be languishing around $50-60 million market cap, right? To have that thing, rocket up, not financial advice, but that's our goal, is to drive this thing because it's a valuable asset because it's in an ecosystem that has proven value. That's what got me from Kansas City to come to Dubai, because I was like, wait a second, I got Bitcoin at $400. I don't need a job. I came here to retire my bloodline. And that's what I told Graham. And I said, dude, we're going to build something epic here. And that's our goal. And so we're working towards that.
Nice. So like when I'm looking at, like, I know they're building like the Jacob & Co. building in Dubai.
Benghazi, yeah.
Yeah. So like that building right there, is that something that like multi-bank would go after to try and get them to
those types of things? Yeah. Benghazi is not one of our partners. We've done some partners with a company called MAG and the Ritz-Carlton.
Yep.
And so there's some other ones that's happening. There's another one of the Emirates where there's some casinos popping up on, and so we are looking for really great deals and partnerships. And because of our legitimacy of being around since 2005, we're not some shitcoin fly-by-night operation. It's like we got consistent long-term revenues and we got great leadership. And so it's just a matter of the deals come to us because of our credibility.
Yeah. Now, I mean, bro, could you imagine having ownership in a casino? Like something you would have never been able to get your hands on, especially like here in the United States or anywhere like that. You have either casinos in Vegas or you have to go to territories that the casinos are owned by Indian tribes. So it's like, unless you're, a multi-billionaire, you're not getting access to anything like that. It would never happen. But with RWAs, yeah, maybe you could throw, money in and buy a fraction of whatever. And, 20 years from now, that gets handed down to your kids.
A piece of a piece. I want to throw this out there. You guys are in America, yeah?
Yes, sir.
So you know how the Green Bay Packers have their sort of distributed ownership? It's the only sports team in America that's owned by the fans. Have you ever gone down that rabbit hole?
Yeah.
Where's this feedback loop coming from?
I just got it. I just unmuted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Travis.
Say that one more time, Travis. Sorry, that was. Thought I was having a
sure what
fucking
happened. I didn't
schizophrenic
touch
break
anything.
finally
I
after
promise.
after being in NFTs
Jesus,
all
what's
the
the
time.
deal? Let us pray. Okay. So the Green Bay Packers are owned entirely by the fans. Basically, they've done it, I think, 3 times in their history where they've done these sort of stock releases, and they sold a bunch of them. So I think the second time they did it was 1997, and I bought my uncle, who's a big Packers fan, 1 share for like $230 or something. So he's a part owner of the Green Bay Packers. Now, he doesn't get any voting rights. He didn't get anything for that. But they did another raise not long ago, and they did the same thing. You get to own a share of the thing. So imagine they're kind of fractional owners. They don't get any of the voting benefits, and it's kind of wonky. But it's really cool because Green Bay, Wisconsin only has 100,000 people. Green Bay should not have a stadium and have an NFL football team.
No, they shouldn't.
But they do.
Yeah.
Because of fractionalized ownership.
Yeah, it's like
So it's kind of that model, but much bigger.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I see the vision there. It's really cool because it does give you access to ownership of things that you normally would not have. Like, imagine if Amazon did that. Like, I mean, yeah, you could go buy the stock now. But I mean,
dude, you want to go down a crazy rabbit hole? I'm gonna drop a rabbit hole to you. Do a research on Jeff Bezos' grandpa.
And what is he?
You've never done that. I'm not even going to tell you too much about it. I'm going to let you do your own research on it. But the reason he got set up.
Or did he get scooped up in Operation Paperclip or something? What are we going to find out?
It's bigger than that. Like people who he knew, and like his grandpa was big in some intelligence stuff. And
he was a regional director for
Bezos.
He was a regional director for the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission.
Yeah.
And a key figure in the early development of DARPA. Get out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's really crazy is like once upon a time, 300 pounds of enriched uranium disappeared. And he was the guy in charge of the organization. And then next thing you know, they're making nukes in Israel. And then he hits all this money somehow. I don't know what happened. This is
whoa now. Hold on. I don't want to get hit with the goy beam here. Israel doesn't have any nukes. If you guys are out there listening.
These are dots that connected. And I was like, what? I tell you, it's a rabbit hole.
So you're saying
I don't make the rules.
So you're saying that Amazon was funded by
I don't know. I don't think that was. I think his grandpa had something to do. Well, all I know is his grandpa was in charge of the atomic thing, as you just found out. Then 300 pounds of uranium disappeared, and then other countries then started making nukes with that exact uranium because they could trace it to its cause. So it's a weird, as I said, it's a rabbit hole, folks.
Holy shit.
I just discovered that about a week ago, so it's fresh on my brain.
Yeah, we have to do some conspiracy theory spaces now. Holy shit.
I guess not for an idiot, because an idiot over there was freaking out over there. I saw him sweating. He had like little beads of sweat going. He's like, oh.
He's like, where's my tinfoil hat?
He's like, oh my God, our 37 listeners are gonna our thing's gonna get shut down.
Yeah.
I got plenty of outdoor projects to do without painting my roof blue this week. All right.
Nice. You know, actually, my home in Puerto Rico had a blue roof automatically. I moved in with a blue roof. That was fancy.
There you go, dude. Set up, built-in utility.
That's funny.
So, do you want to touch more on some of the token? What is the utility of the MBG token? What is the ties there? Grim, I don't know if you want to take that. Sounds like
Grim. I gotta find my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, you lost your phone?
Yeah, I heard.
My other phone.
He heard something ringing and he's looking around. I thought it was a damn one of the wind-up things, like a snow
globe. Bezos' grandpa.
Oh, yeah. Telling you that.
So as Travis was saying, MBG is the ecosystem token. So it ties deeply into the multi-bank ecosystem. And everything that we'll develop and we're building will resonate into this token. So the utility is not just to see it as any other tradable, tokens. It's going to be something that will grow as the brand grows. As multi-bank and MBIO becomes a global exchange, you will see that reflected in what the MBG token also will mirror. and all the projects that we are building, which I won't be able to say as much as Travis does because he has, the final say on these things. But everything that we are currently building will reflect into the MBG token. So, not financial advice, but it's definitely something that, you should pay close attention and at least see the journey that the token will have from now, which is at ground zero. And as we start unraveling all the things we got lined up in the coming months, and very close by, even in a couple of weeks, you will start seeing different things happening.
Different things happening with the token. Oh, go ahead, Travis.
Well, I just say, in the bear markets, builders build, right? And so we've been seeing that for a while. And I've been here now in Dubai since November. And if you can take a look at some of our content online, we've leveled up a bunch of stuff. We've got a bunch of great partnerships, a lot of great conversations happening, and a lot of great things being built. And so I would just say that, our trajectory is moving in the right direction.
That's awesome.
Sorry, quick side note. Am I the only person that thinks that Grimm looks like Mike Vrabel? I mean, this dude's a fucking ringer, bro.
He does.
Oh my God.
I didn't even think of that.
Oh my God.
Oh my
God.
God.
Get you a Patriots hat, bro.
No,
oh my God.
Yeah. Yo, we need to take him out and do some cameos. Seriously.
Yeah, get him a Patriots hat and get him a Patriots hat and that lady from that journalist.
We need to keep him away from journalists.
Yeah.
Keep Grimm away from all the sports journalist women.
That's hilarious. I didn't even think of that. I'm sitting there looking at it as soon as you said that. That's pretty good. So what are some of the latest things that are going to be coming up besides the burn happening with multi-bank? Is there any products that are coming that you want to talk about? I know Grimm was pretty quiet on that.
Well, we have some things that are being announced shortly. So nothing that we can say, hey, well, because if we say it, some people are like, why are you saying that yet? We're not supposed to say it yet. So I will say this: we have a nice L1, a nice tier 1 exchange that is going to be news. That's all you get.
Okay, so
are we going to do a little Binance crime?
No. Binance, actually, it's so crazy when you look at how companies who list on Binance are like, you can list it on us if you give us 12% of your tokens, and then they take the tokens and then run them through their perps, and then they end up making all this money and dump your token. It's just weird. Like, I don't know why people would actively do that. Like, I think that some of the things they do are not great.
Yeah, Binance listings used to be bullish. It seems like it's a net negative now if you're getting listed on Binance, where it used to pump your token multiples. It's like people are wary if it gets a Binance listing.
Right. So we don't proactively go after Binance. It's too expensive, and it's too costly to the token value long term. Has there been one good token besides Aster pop off of Binance in the last year?
No,
not to my knowledge. No.
And on top of it, now with all the on-chain volume, it's like you essentially almost don't need sexes anymore in a sense, just because on-chain volume is so high right now. So yeah, I mean, the game has changed, I would say.
Real quick, Dejani, did you have a multi-bank question?
Yes, I had a multi-bank question.
This is my good friend Dejani.
You're working on it since 2005. Is the bank existing? And I'm thinking that I heard the term multi-bank before. Have you been in Dubai on some of the blockchain weeks, etc.? I have the feeling that I talked with some of your representatives in 2022 when I was working for a project.
Mm-hmm. We have been in Dubai since 2020. So yeah, probably so. Before that, we were in Hong Kong. And then before that, so really it's a lot. What's really interesting about our founder, the dude's super sharp. Nasser Taher, he's the founder. He's in his early 70s now. But in the 90s, his family had a big sort of, they had like a cattle ranching dynasty. And then the, what was it, mad cow disease happened.
Yeah,
and they had
mad
to kill $300 million worth of head of cattle. because, mad cow's disease. And they were in like Ireland or whatever. So he was studying the law, figuring things out. He became an attorney, a barrister, without going to law school. Like, that's crazy to me. How can you become an attorney without actually going to law school? Like, he figured stuff out, right? So then he went to China, was working in and figuring out trading and commodities and sort of that whole thing back in the day, stocks. And think about that going there in the 90s, and then all the tech stocks popping off, and gold and oil and all the things. And so he ended up earning enough to buy multibank from a company there, and then he owned it, worked in Beijing, and then things were getting a little crazy in China. They moved to Hong Kong, and then now here we are in Dubai for the last 6 years. So he went from riches to rags to riches. Like, I never heard of that kind of a story happening. Normally, you go rags to riches, back to rags. Like, it's called running the cycle on crypto. You go to the moon and back to being broke. That happens often, right? You take the loop. But yeah, dude, it's a good dude. And that's one of the things that I was like, man, this is different. So yeah, it's TradFi meets DeFi meets RWA. I got my ass out of Kansas City, out to Dubai. Midwest, dude, to the Middle East.
Yeah, how do you get by with no barbecue?
Dude. Ooh, that is a tough one.
I mean,
they do have
places.
Dave's Hot Chicken is like my saving grace. You know what's weird? If you look on the apps here, like
Dave's Hot Chicken,
most of my favorite places are here, except like my local Kansas City places.
Yeah, Dave's Hot Chicken is ass, because my best friends are Kansas City Chiefs fans.
Yeah,
and we go every 4 years when the Chiefs play the Cowboys, whether it's in Dallas.
Okay, you're a Cowboys fan then?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Man, remember the 90s? What was the 90s like? I've seen those Instagram reels.
90s was fucking great. Yeah, 90s was great. Yeah.
Let me just close this discussion real quick as far as who's got the better barbecue, Kansas City or Texas? It's Texas. Let's just be real.
Texas is known for some good stuff, but let me tell you, Kansas City, bro.
I love how we pivoted from a Web3 combo to a Type 2 combo. That's pretty good stuff there.
Type 2 combo. No, I'll say this. Kansas City has 4 of the top Zagat's or something, or one of the top.
Wow.
Kansas City has 4 of them. And I will say, Texas has a lot of great barbecue. Memphis has great barbecue. Nashville's got some good stuff. There's some good stuff in North Carolina. But I tell you what, it depends on the kind that you like. The sauce, it's right. Really a lot of it's a personal preference. But the meat, there's so many amazing places in Kansas City. It's crazy. They'll be like, what? This barbecue place? I never even heard of it. How is Slaps so amazing? It's like, I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah,
that's why we're all fat, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what Kyle going with the anal dot saying Type 2 conversation.
Not funny if you explain the joke, Jesus.
Some people may not like. I break an arm and potato salad comes out. So it's fucking,
that's good.
It's
this blood is a little bit brown because it is dripping. It is dripping barbecue sauce. And actually, when I come back, I bring Gates seasoning with me, Jack Stack seasoning, and Oklahoma Joe seasoning. There's some places here that you can get like a big box of just the most unbelievable sirloins and strips and all these other steaks for about 500 dirham AED, which is like about $140 US. You get a whole freezer full of badass steaks, dude. I just cook those things up, so I'm not missing barbecue too much because I make my own.
Yeah, well, no, that's true. Yeah, I know a buddy of ours lives in Dubai, and he's like, I'm going to the market to get some Aussie meat, and I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it's Australian steaks.
They sell kangaroo in Dubai.
Yeah, and like, what the hell are you talking about? So,
oh yeah, dude, I had a koala steak the other day. It was so good.
Koala steak.
Really by the way. None of you even questioned it.
No, like fucking.
I must have tasted like eucalyptus.
I'm just. I don't know. I'm getting pretty used to hearing about global cuisine. We were having a conversation about eating guinea pigs in a space I was in yesterday. So Never know, man. You never know.
You
I don't
never
even
know. That
question
is
it.
true.
Yeah. I mean, bro, get some fractionalized barbecue joints. Like,
I should get some fractionalized that. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna head out of here in a minute or so. You guys got any other questions out there in the peanut gallery?
Well, hold on now. Let's go around here real quick. Dejani, I'll get right back to you. It's Coma. Did you have a question for Multibank here? If not, we'll get to you in just a minute. Okay. Okay.
Don't think you
Coma.
did. Yeah.
Dejani, go ahead, brother. I just wanted to give him a shot to tap in here.
I wanted to learn what can I do on Multibank.io? Can I trade all kind of crypto assets and RWAs, or what's the difference to other platforms, and why should I use it?
Oh, it's a very direct question.
That is a great question. You know what? If you have an own exchange you already like, we're not asking you to change, but we do have, we're growing our assets. We're completely regulated, right? So we're VAR regulated. We have the Australian regulation. We are right here in the middle. We have to be, we're 100%. We got 18 licenses across all of our platforms, right? So highly regulated. And so that's a big benefit. And then, the more MBG you hold, you get discounts on trading. And we have some ridiculous pricing on OTC. So you want to go fiat to crypto, crypto to fiat. And, as we always say, not your keys, not your crypto. The best thing is to hold your own keys in your cold storage. Second base is to have, a super secured, place to do your trading. So, we're launching our next version of the RWA platform. We partnered with Maverick. They're in L1. The head of that was the head of innovation for Tezos. They're taking all those things over, some best practices from there, best practices from Ethereum, and building the next wave of RWA. So that's one of our main partners is that. So that's going to be coming out here soon. And so, there's a lot of choices out there, but right now people are pissed off at Coinbase, people are mad at Binance, and we're one of the only ones in Dubai. And so we're really focused on the UAE market. We're not so much focused in America yet, because it was really weird because we got to be licensed, right? It's the way it is. But in America, every state is like its own license. So that's why it's hard for a lot of crypto people to come in the United States, because you got to get 50 licenses essentially.
Yeah.
Until the Clarity Act and the Genius Act and all those, clarify that shit. That's why it's so hard for most companies to come into America. So they just kind of ignore it. You ever had that problem where you're like, oh, you're from North Korea, Iran, or the United States, you can't get this token. You're like, wow.
Yeah. Do you think the Clarity Act, if passed and done right, will give you guys more leeway with coming into the States? It's just like a one-time application where you have to bypass states? Or?
Don't know if the Clarity Act by itself will do it, but I think the Clarity Act is a good stepping stone to get there.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these states, they're not modeling what Wyoming's doing. They should, right? I mean, how hard is it to get California on board? Like, California's a mess, right? New York City's historically been a mess with their BIT license and all the other stuff they've had. So it's like, they do not speak the same language. You got the blue states, the red states. How are you going to try to get them to agree on what crypto is and what it looks like? A lot of people think that crypto, it's such a scam, right? Well, no, fiat paper money is that a bigger scam. You can just drop pallets of cash to people and just send boop, boop. So it's one of those things. I think it's going to be really hard to once I understood that, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Wow.
Yeah, Wyoming is probably the most crypto-friendly. It is the most crypto-friendly state, I would say, in the United States. And if everybody would just kind of get on board with them and just, have
I'm trying to move to Wyoming, to be honest. I'd love to get off the East Coast here and get out into the Rockies. I just got to, I gotta start making money off of talking shit on the internet.
You need a cowboy hat. You can get yourself a big old horse.
I have a cowboy hat, brother. I went on vacation in Montana. The first thing I did was LARP as a cowboy. Okay, I got the cowboy hat.
You got them shit kickers on too.
That's right, buddy. Let me tell you what.
Buckaroo.
We were talking about going down the rabbit hole earlier, and I meant to bring this comment up, but Han said fanny packs can't fit in rabbit holes. So he said, remember that.
Oh, now
Yeah.
see, these guys are making fun of me because I have a fanny pack whatever.
Okay.
He's fucking the European mind cannot comprehend a fanny pack with a cig in it. That's for sure.
Yeah, no.
Wait a second. So a fanny pack, I'm not a big fan of fanny packs, but what about the sling bag? Like sling bags are very helpful because like I got my phone right here. Anybody robbing me?
That's
See, I ain't mad at it, but I think I think the fact that people want to make fun of fanny packs, when I rock a fanny pack, it's like, yeah, what? Like I'm unaffected.
Okay.
I'm unaffected by the fanny pack fun. I think
How are
that's the
you
most
wearing the fanny
masculine
pack? Is
shit.
it around your waist or is it around your shoulder?
See, I was thinking about that because everybody here in Dubai's got badass vehicles and they all like, ooh, I have the coolest vehicle and my license plate number's the tiniest. Like, because you can have like a 1-digit like license plate here and people paying millions of dollars. So I'm like, dude, I want the shittiest car with the best air conditioning. That's all I care about. Give me a big digit on a license plate. Give me a shitty car.
It's a roof-mounted air conditioner, like a whole damn HVAC unit.
Through the whole back window, you got your own window.
I should keep steaks frozen in my backseat if I need to, type shit. Let's go, dude.
So check this shit out, dude. I ain't even lying. And so today, I think it was, or yesterday, it was like 44 degrees Celsius. And I was like, what does that even mean? 103?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's,
dude, it's not even summer.
Yeah. And that's direct heat. That's no humidity. That's the sun breathing down your fucking neck like a dragon is behind you. Like,
I am too fat to be in Dubai in summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I need to lose weight or I need to move.
Yeah. Somebody asked me, are you going to go, you ever going to go to a crypto event in Dubai? And I'm like, fuck no. I would need three. I would need three changes of clothing.
September to March, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That I could deal with. But when I see some of the temperatures, I'm like, no, fuck you. I sweat way too much. I would sweat.
It's great from September to like March. Beautiful weather.
Yeah. Well, that I can deal with. I would need a change of clothes from my house to the Uber, from my Uber to the venue, and then getting from the venue to wherever the event is. Those three outfits, I would need three different ones.
We don't need any cheese of swamp ass.
So you fucking definitely don't. You sure as fuck don't. So, but anyways, all right, Travis, Grimm, I know you guys have shit to do.
It is 8:30 p.m. for me.
I know. Yeah, well, you got some barbecue to go eat. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on what you cook.
I do not.
Yeah, I know.
I wish I did. Now I'm sad because you told me that Dave's hot chicken is ass.
Bro, it's fucking ass. I went.
It's the best you can get here. It's pretty good here. I don't know. Here's the thing. What I've noticed is what you think is in America. Those here, like, dude, Chipotle here is amazing. Like, it's the cleanest place you've ever seen. Everybody's so happy. You go into a Chipotle in America, everybody's pissed off. What to help you? Like, everything's half done. There's nothing left.
Dude, you get outside of the U.S. and the chain restaurants are all using locally sourced meats and stuff. Dude, it's like I went to El Salvador. My wife's from El Salvador. We went down there. If you go into a Pizza Hut in El Salvador, they don't just sell pizza. They sell everything. And it's the best damn food you've ever had. And it's like, what? I'm under the red fucking hut roof here. What are we doing?
Bro, don't go to cheap places.
It's literally got a 4.8 star rating, Domino's. I don't know why. It's just nuts to me. So I do think the chains in Dubai, they bring in high quality people that are working there and they make it better. You don't have the shitty toxins and stuff that's probably in the American version.
Yeah, we are being poisoned every day. That's why I stay out in the country. I stay away from the cities. I get all my stuff from local farms and shit like that, man. I'm pretty paranoid about that type of shit.
My daughter sent me a funny Instagram reel said, hey, Sky, what were you like in the 90s? It was like all clear skies and like clouds. And now they got stripes of toxins being dropped on you. But that's just another rabbit hole that we don't need to go down in your fanny pack.
With your fanny pack, yeah. All right, well, cool. Well, Travis, Grimm, we appreciate you guys coming in.
This is fun.
Hanging out with us.
Awesome conversation.
Yeah, and
well, thank you everybody for tuning in on the space down here, man. It was great to meet you. Feel free to connect, ping me, whatever, ping Grimm. Love to stay in touch, man. Like, you guys got a good community here. I like you people. So I say that nicely.
You people.
You people.
You people are good.
He gave the camera a side eye. That's great.
That's good.
I might make that a
Thanks.
fuck.
And thanks for joining us, Graham, and setting this up, man. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah. All right, cool. Everybody, make sure you guys are following Multibank, Graham, Trav. Appreciate it once again for coming in and joining us here. All right. What was it? There were some people like unruly, just unmuting there. Who I know Dejani.
Well, Coma finally found his unmute button.
Yeah.
After we tried to go to him early. And Coma, to answer your question, I wear around my waist like a man. Okay, I'm not trying to fool anybody into thinking it's not a fanny pack. I am what I am.
Wait. Was that serious? You have a fanny pack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a fanny.
What color is the fanny pack?
All right,
It's like FDE green. It's definitely like it's a fanny pack that I bought for concealed carrying from a company. It like has a concealed carry couch.
You wear this out in public?
I wear it when I walk the dog and shit. I like to walk the dog with gym shorts on, so I don't have pockets. I have a like I've got the gym shorts on.
Brand?
They're not
gym shorts and a fanny pack. Sick.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
You know,
you learn
because
something new every day, bro. You learn.
I
Something
hope
new every
it's
day.
Gucci or something like
Black socks and white caseless.
listen, I'm not that much of a bitch to care about brand name shit like Gucci. This is so funny because I listen to a lot of these kids in these spaces now talk about chrome hearts, this and what watch you wearing that. Yo, real men out in the country, I want to know what your sidearm is. That's what I want to know. Okay, like that's a status symbol to me and my people out here in the dirty white neighborhoods.
Shield 9 for the win, baby.
Let's go.
God bless.
Who else came up? Heathen, what's up? This man, he's changing his PFP to a new WWE character every day. Is it Vince McMahon with a fucking with a do-rag on? That's fucking awesome. Yeah. What's happening, Heathen? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I wanted to come up and defend Kyle's right to conceal carry.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's all. I think he calls it more of a satchel instead of a fanny pack, so it sounds kind of cooler.
I hadn't thought of that before, but I am going to start saying that.
If he lived in a real state like Texas, he wouldn't have to conceal carry. Just saying.
No, I could open carry. Open carry is fully legal in Pennsylvania. I just think it's stupid to telegraph that you've got a sidearm on you. I think there's too many schizophrenics running amok on the streets free because we don't have asylums anymore, and I don't want some fucking psycho grabbing my pistol off my hip while I'm standing in line at a fucking Wawa. You know what I mean?
I love Wawa, by the way.
Is it one of the Vertex ones where it's all like nice and sleek?
I think it's Edelbrock. Let me go grab it since we're
Edelbrock's good too.
Edelbrock's
Did you see the news?
Carburetor. Yeah, I like that. What news, Moon High?
You probably already talked about it, but final Bosu.
Yeah, we did. We started talking about it right as our
there you go.
As our guest came on.
Eberly stock. You know, Kev did pop in. I think he probably wanted to come in and have a conversation about everything.
Yeah.
This is the fanny pack, and I am not ashamed. I'm a fanny pack wearing MFer. And if you see me on the street with this thing on, just know I got that thing on me.
I wear one
that's a
at
good
festivals,
brand.
dude. I wear one at festivals. They're great, honestly. Your hands free.
What is that? The East Pack or what?
What is what?
Yeah, East Pack is good too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what was the
keep an
question, by the
Everly
way?
stock in the truck.
Sorry, what was the question you asked me? If that I missed.
Oh, I just had. Oh, we had those guys on, and we had the multi-band guys on. I didn't know if you hit the request because you had a question for them, or if you were just trying to come through and hang out. That's all.
I was more curious about the fanny pack, but I just didn't want to interrupt them because their time seemed valuable. So
yeah. Well, we appreciate that, but yeah, that's the fanny pack, dude. Eberly stock. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, man.
I see Kevin in another space, but I'm gonna tag him anyways, and because he's in there with a bunch of apes, so they're all probably talking about apes and shit like that. So I'm gonna see if
they're
they
probably
come in. So
trying to convince them to come to the ape chain. Oh man, instead of migrating to fucking Ethereum mainnet, the mother chain of NFTs, why don't you come to ape chain? No offense, ape chain. I have a bunch of ape chain NFTs too.
Yeah, because tomorrow.
Have you seen records?
No. Tomorrow we have Bears coming on to do some video stuff. So I'm hoping if Kev wants to come in, I mean, we'll give him 20, 30 minutes before we shut it down.
Wow, that's fun.
Go on too much more. No, what are you talking about, Dejani?
They have merged the profiles.
Oh, have they? Nice. Good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Holy
you have
shit.
600 points or so. You're third or fourth.
Oh, look, it is Kev.
Cool. Kenny, look at hantavirus, bro. It's at 6.4 mil now.
Yeah, I got the moonshot listing, so I figured it was going to run.
Well, the moonshot listing took it from 1.7 to 3.89.
Why you don't share ever alpha like this?
We talked about it
at the beginning of the space.
Yeah, but I mean, Mouse talked about it when it was 15K.
Oh,
Well, then what are you
bitching about?
Yeah, if you heard Mouse talk about it when it was 15K, then maybe you should have fucking told us about it then, Dejani.
No,
I didn't share the goddamn alpha. I just saw that, but Mouse is every day almost here.
Oh my god!
All right. Just lie about some fucking hantavirus fucking meme coin on the fucking spiritually impoverished blockchain, Solana. We got Bosu Kev here, and he's having a big exciting day today. Kev, how you doing, man? Good to have you back on the space.
Hey guys, yeah, thanks. I was actually wanted to hop in before, but I didn't want to. So
yeah, we had a guest on. And all right, so what I want to let everybody on this stage know, I know Brad won't, I know Como won't, Heathen definitely won't, but to Johnny and Moon High, if you unmute and ask a motherfucking question while Kev is talking, I'm kicking you off the stage. You understand? I just tagged this man. He's busy, and I said the stage is yours. So let the man talk. Don't interrupt him. All right. So get your shit together. All right. Kev,
let me frame just a question here real quick for you, Kev, because I think the conversation I've had with a lot of people about this, because I think a lot of people saw this coming, right? You've been talking about it for a while. There's a balance here in this. It's somewhat of a risky move, right? There's a balance between, there's definitely a lot more liquidity on Ethereum mainnet for NFTs, right, to be successful. There's also a lot more competition. So, with that said, I mean, how do you feel about this move? What do you think about that? Like, how do you feel about being somewhat of a kind of in direct competition with Azuki as an anime PFP? I mean, just go ahead and tell me what your thoughts are on all of that.
Yeah, it gets me excited, to be honest.
Let's go.
It feels like you can play. It feels a bit like playing in the bigger league, right? So if you're a football team and you're like ranking up to the next league, and now you play with the big guys, that's how that feels. Yeah, I'm just excited in general. I think it definitely took me a while to get to the decision and be firm on it, because I don't want to comment that it comes from a place of scarcity. Like, don't get me wrong, I definitely see a bull case for abstract over time, right? And I just don't think for us personally it's the right place to be. And so I don't want it to come from a place of, but what if the community now misses out, like internally with our core groups as well. I've also said there is a case where abstract is going to get a lot of attention and everybody's going to be excited about it. And we need to be having our own clear reasons of why going, right? And it became very clear to me in many ways when, one, talking to all the big collectors and having conversations, selling Final Basu, but just not wanting to get in because of the chain. And over time, it just made me realize really ultimately ETH has the best brand for NFTs specifically. I think there's no doubt about that, right? All the big brands are here. And so that's just clear as day. And I feel if we ultimately want to fulfill our vision of turning this into a franchise with status and that people, look up to, I think that you need to be playing in on ETH and battle there. And yeah, I kind of like last time as well, I think we spoke a bit about it. It's like, yeah, but there you can't get support, and I actually like that. I feel that the decentralization feel on ETH, I really like that now that I've experienced the other side. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited. It took me a while emotionally to get there, but
yeah, Kev. Look, first off, congratulations on the move. Obviously, look, the headwinds or the tailwinds of this happening has got your floor price up 26.4% already prior to the migration. Look, we saw Fugs move. Their floor price doubled. ETH is kind of like the chain for NFTs. In hindsight, looking back on it, obviously y'all launched your first collection on ETH. Are there any regrets about going to abstract, or you just, you were happy you tried it and realized, the move back to ETH would be better for you guys?
Well, I don't think regret is the right word, right? I think that I'm definitely very grateful as well for the whole experience in general. initially we also had a lot of calls with Luca, and we got to learn a lot of him directly. And I've enjoyed my time as well in Abstract a lot, and so I also just feel grateful for the time that we had there. If I could go back in time, it's always difficult to say now, right? You don't know what would have happened. I've always been bullish on ourselves, obviously, because else I wouldn't be doing this, and I think we would have also crushed it launching on ETH, but you don't know, and so it's hard to go back in time. But I'm definitely grateful for this experience. I think that our community also needed time to really come together. We're now at a really good spot as a group, with a lot of very passionate people, and so we're here today because we went there. And so I can only feel grateful for the whole experience, to be honest, and now excited just for this next phase.
Yeah, and I think it's not necessarily a bad thing, because obviously with NFT mints, typically hyped up ones like Final Bosa was fucking, dude, it was all over the timeline, right? It was all anybody was talking about in the NFT world for prior to the mint. And then you get the shakeout over the next few months, and you find out who your true believers and community members are in the community. And then now moving forward, you're doing the best thing in your eyes for your community. And if the community is aligned with your move, it seems like a win-win situation for you guys.
Yeah, 100%. Like the community has been screaming it at us for quite a while now, like literally the last weeks, like constantly asking the questions. I do know, like Fox obviously had set a good example for us as well, and so I think that's also playing in people's mind, right? Looking at them and then looking how that worked out, and so I'm grateful they went first and kind of showed the way. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to build out. Beside that, actually, like on the sync up before. I wanted to lead not with the move, but more with the vision, and we actually shared like a couple things there. Obviously, the collect profile that we've been talking about for a while is right around the corner, so I wanted to line that up as well with our move. It's much more than that. It's really a profile where the community can co-create around their characters, and the even bigger thing that I think that we shared there. That we haven't announced officially yet, but there's a big experiment that we've been doing actually with AI creation. And I almost don't want to say the word AI because it gets misinterpreted really fast. I would say we're actually producing a short film as an experiment around a few different collectibles, a few different NFTs as characters. And the results are really, really promising. We can create stuff at hyper speed time, and the quality is just absolutely insane. And that's something that we shared within the sync up, and I'm super excited about this. So I kind of feel like everything starts to align, and ETH is now the next logical move for us to expand, really.
No, that's dope. I'd completely agree. I think people are warming up to the AI narrative too. By the way, everybody's sort of embracing AI content. Even a complete novice like myself can make some fairly cool, very short form stuff. So with some skilled individuals on your side, I'm sure you're making really cool stuff with the Bosu IP. So that's awesome. I think I saw Koma's hand first. You got a question for Kev here, and then we'll go Moon High.
Yeah, hey Kev. I think first time chatting, but I am curious as a founder, like what is the appeal of something like Abstract when starting an NFT collection or some, layer 2 chain versus using ETH? Because I think someone mentioned like ETH is the mother chain. It makes sense. In my mind, I feel like it's the easiest way to onboard people to NFTs. But is it because like with these like layer 2 chains, there may be more support from the founders themselves, and that's why that's kind of the appeal, like kind of start like being the first of that specific chains like NFT collection. And then it seems like I'm just noticing like as some of these chains get hyped, the NFTs get hyped, but then eventually a lot of these chains, they start to kind of like not lose the hype, but like they do like kind of die down, and then maybe the NFTs kind of follow suit. So like if you like, I am just curious, like what was the motivation behind that? And then like if you had to start all over again, would you just start from ETH directly, or would you still do the Abstract way?
Yeah, I think that it's what I realized being there is that if you're a specific project, like for Scarly with Unchained, like, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that they should be there, right? And so I think it's very much depending on each use case. That's something that I see now specifically after being there for a while. And so yeah, like that's really really depending on each case. Personally, like going back in time, like obviously there's always multiple factors. I was, the narrative of abstract was great, kind of died down before we launched, and then we still continue to go there. There were some benefits for us as well. There was this mentality of us being together with Luca, with the other builders. I don't know, that whole vibe, and it was just really great initially, I think. And yeah, that narrative definitely shifted a little bit in terms of focus. And yeah, I think you're growing a lot as a founder as well, and so it's kind of always difficult to say if it's like a good thing for you or not. If personally I go back in time and looking at it now, yeah, I would definitely launch on ETH, and just go the route here, especially since our first collection was also here. We were really in doubt about it, and to be fair, my brothers were actually against it all of the time till the last moment, and I was the one that have pushed this through. So it's also been very much my decision to actually lead that front, and I'm happy that they gave me the space, right? And we did we sold our collection out, we've built up a community there, and we've done fairly well for what we've done, and so I'm grateful for that part. But yeah, I guess it really depends what you're building, man. If it's like, I think for some people it just makes a lot of sense there.
Dope. Mooneye, did you have a question still, or did Kev just cover it?
I was just gonna say this. I feel like competition, is great. I think moving to a chain with Azuki there, and I think it's even better. I think having competition kind of, makes you fight harder to be the best. And I think with Abstract Chain, I feel like that's just, to me, more of an access to more games, and from what I gather, and you guys aren't a game, and I think this is the greatest move you made. I think it's the best move, and I think it's going to be a whole new level of buyers. It'll make it easier for people to find you. I just think Abstract is just difficult. Even sending money, it's just a pain in the ass. But I think this is a great move for you, Kev, and I'm very happy for you guys. So yeah, let's fucking go.
I mean,
appreciate that, man.
I don't know where it's a pain in the ass to send. Well,
yeah,
whatever.
I don't get where people have that issue with sending money to. I mean, it's no.
That sounds like a skill issue, Moon High, but I do agree with everything else you said. Yeah, man, I think it's very cool. I think Ethereum, does have the most liquidity, and it's just where for right now, it's where the most serious NFT brands are. That's just a fact. I do think, Abstract will have its day in the sun again. I think I just said this in a chat. I think, as soon as there's like a clear uptrend in the markets, I think, you're going to probably see a big marketing spend on Abstract's behalf to onboard people. But, I do think Abstract is a little more focused around gaming and stuff like that. And Final Bosu is an anime art IP, and I think it's got great alignment for ETH mainnet, so I think it's really cool.
Do the NFTs look better to you now that that they're going you always see the thing that like people are like, oh, my bearish looks better at 0.1 than it did at 0.8. Like, does my Bosu now look better that it's now on ETH mainnet than Abstract?
Yes.
Yes.
I definitely think there's 100%. I think it's baked into human psychology, right?
Yeah, like the lines are a little bit more crisp. Like I can see the,
okay.
I can see the
Become
smoke
better.
and lightning. Yeah. So
You gotta use the word clean, geez. It looks cleaner now.
yeah, it looks cleaner. Yeah. Well,
if floor price makes the NFTs look cleaner, then I got a lot of messy ass NFTs in my wallet.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Can I share one thing
Yeah.
that actually came to mind when Moon High was speaking as well? It's actually realized also this has been also a big realization for me, is initially going to Abstract, consumer focused, and having that vision, right? Like we've actually built out like a whole landing page around Own a Character. We were about to launch it actually to the Web2 space, to the anime space, and while going through that phase and learning, and sometimes you're experimenting, and you're like, okay, maybe it's not the right time yet. I also realized actually that we should, trying to be careful with how I frame it, but I think there's like, you can either go very outward, so we go like Web 2, anime, try to track them back to the NFT, like consumer focused, or you can focus inward, kind of on your core Web 3 community, and then start expanding outward. And I realized that that part is actually more important than I initially realized, and that's why also ETH is more important to me now than it was before, because of the realization. Because if your whole goal is to go outwards and expand and to consumer focused, then that's one way. But if you actually want to capture the larger audience and collectors, I was counting the other day, close to 100 DMs with collectors that are not owning Final Bosses, people that own shit ton of quirkies, good, like all of the collections. And I've had conversations with every single one and asked them about this, right? And a lot say I don't touch anything else around outside of ETH, right? Like I don't even look at it. And so that's what made me also realize, like, we're not even considered right now because you're there. And so I've always had this uphill battle. Some people I could convince, right? No, but try abstract, let's try one, and then slowly got them on board. But I feel like if you want to win in Web3 as an NFT brand, IP play, what we're doing, it's actually more focusing on the collectors. And that's a big realization as well.
I think a perfect example is just looking back over the past few weeks, right? We had the recent surge in NFT volume, and in particular, any notable collection on Ethereum, or at least relevant collection that has been around for a minute, like was literally up anywhere from like 10 to 30, 40%. I'm talking even dead projects, things like, or OG projects that aren't even doing anything, but you saw a pump across the board. Cool Cats, Sappy Seals, everything went up on Ethereum during that. And that's just an indicator that when NFT season does come back and when people are like super bullish on NFTs again, ETH is going to be the main winner. ETH NFTs are going to be the main winner. I mean, no other chain saw that spike in volume. No other chain saw the difference in, just active users like Ethereum did over the past few weeks. So, I mean, that to me is just an indicator that if you're serious about your collection and really want to try and grow it as much as possible, I think ETH is the chain you have to be on. That's just, my kind of take on it. But you felt it. You felt like you saw every ETH collection start pumping as soon as Bored Ape started running back up to 10 ETH. So that's just an indicator of my
I would point out, like some of the game, like, look at On-Chain Heroes saw some good price action in the same time frame. I do think that there's something to, some of these chains have a slightly different narrative, right? And On-Chain Heroes has been very successful in the gaming narrative, and as liquidity flowed into some NFTs, you saw a pump there. Bearish has the 404 thing going on. They've got a lot of things building. I don't know. I still like my abstract NFTs a lot, but
what's 404?
It's like a token contract standard. So with Bearish, they have a token, and if you hold 10,001 Burr token, then you get an NFT automatically in your.
Sorry, I'm just fucking with you, man. It's it's 402. But 404 means when your website doesn't load, but it's very nice.
404 is a griff, if I'm understanding it correctly.
Basically, yeah.
My bad. You caught me.
Well, I mean, your name does says an idiot, so like maybe.
Anal dot.
Yes.
Kev, you don't gotta raise your hand, buddy. We're on you right now, brother.
One other thing, because I always tend to look past short-term price action, even though, like, don't get me wrong, I find it very important because it dictates a big part of how the community feels the sentiment and Web3 looks at us, etc. But it's not the only indicator you can look at, because there is generally a situation where we all know that Luca is great at what he does. The team works really hard, right? They're figuring it out, and at some point things will start clicking for them as well. And so I don't, as long as they keep continuing and they have the funds and everything and the passion to build, I generally feel like they will find their way. And maybe there is a day where NFTs pump like crazy there, and then we're not there, right? And that's kind of the part of it as well, the realistic view. And so you need to also, well, at least as my perspective is like trying to look past that. If I look at it from a brand and a branding perspective, us being on ETH, the feeling that people feel with it, I think is very important there. that is more than any short-term price action. And for that, it's a long way to go because it has proven itself to have the biggest of the biggest collections in the space with crazy run-ups. And so that brand that is there is unbeatable to be associated with directly, right? And for that, abstract obviously has a very long way to go for NFTs to get that same feel. But I absolutely see a world, with the people that are building there. Like if I generally will be Scarly, I will be there as well. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I agree. I do think abstract is going to have its moment in the sun again. Obviously, as things get closer to TGE, once those announcements come back, I do think you'll see a rotation of capital back towards abstract. There's no doubt about that in my mind. I just think from a long-term building perspective as a founder, I don't think it's a negative to be on abstract, but again, it's just a broader audience on Ethereum. You have more like serious collectors, like the CryptoPunks and the Bored Ape collectors who are, solely native to Ethereum for the most part. So yeah, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, I think if you're going to be on abstract, there should be a reason why you're on abstract. If you're gaming NFT, it makes sense. But again, I think there's great alignment with the final Bosu IP and just Ethereum mainnet and the collectors there. Moonhigh, what's up, dude?
Yeah, I just think there's more money on ETH, and I think that abstract. I mean, Kev, did you think that there was going to be more support from the abstract team when you decided to launch on abstract? Did you think that Luca was going to have more of a voice on abstract? I'm just curious to what really pushed you, because your brothers were fighting against it. They said, "Kev, don't do it. We can't do it. We got to launch on ETH." What really persuaded you to go to abstract? Was it what was it?
Yeah, I think a combination of things. Being just bullish on their focus, consumer focus. I think it's a genuine problem that we have in the space that needs to be solved. And so I've always seen that vision. There was no doubt about that part and the capability of the team. Definitely, the initial support with Luca was awesome, right? I think those things are all factoring in a way. And yeah, I think over time it just has shifted. I also just respect it so much because I know how it is to be a founder or create something. It's just really, really difficult. You're searching and trying and seeing the feedback and then improving, and you constantly keep going. And so there's also like zero fuel from me of like, we initially got focus and then not as much focus anymore. And so yeah, I do respect that a lot, right? So I don't feel any the resentment or anything towards that part. Yeah, definitely was initially a part of the decision making that was there. Yeah.
With sorry, go ahead, Moonhigh. Go ahead.
I didn't know if there was a monetary gain for you on that. I didn't know if abstract paid teams to come over. I wasn't sure if they were doing that or not. So I guess they weren't.
Not at all, man. I think generally everybody that goes there wants to build there. There's obviously incentives for games. If you are launching, you have instantly hundreds of people, trying, or maybe even thousands of people trying your stuff out. So I think that's the incentive. I think if you want to build there, then you need to be there for that specific reason as well. And so at least for us, never was any
abstract needs to just be more. They just need to fix their branding. They need to be the gaming chain, and they need to just go for it and title themselves that, and just kind of go for that. I think they're just they need to just focus on one little entity, especially being L2. You're all over the place.
Yeah, but I think limiting yourself to just doing one thing is like disaster. I like.
Why do you say that though? I want to know why.
I enjoy abstract because there's a lot of different things on there that I do, and I don't play a lot of the games, but I'm there doing other things.
Like I play a lot of the games and I do a lot of other things. Like at the end of the day, Moonhigh, abstract is a blockchain. It's up to the builders to decide where they want to build and why. But here's something I'm curious about. NFTs obviously are a niche asset class, when it comes to crypto, in general. Anime PFPs are kind of a niche within a niche. And obviously Azuki is kind of top of mind when you think anime PFPs. Do you find a lot of overlap between your community and the Azuki community? Do you expect to see a lot of overlap? I mean, I guess there's Persona has really good anime art too. kind of struggling to come up with any other anime PFPs that I think are really well, at least that are at least really great art, right? I mean, those are the top. I would say a without putting them in any specific order. I would say Azuki, Persona, and Final Bosu, my favorite anime art on chain. Do you find a lot of do you interact a lot with the Azuki community at all? Have you seen a lot of maybe Azuki PFPs? I'm seeing Bosu PFPs all over my timeline again all of a sudden. The community's obviously riled up. Do you think you're gonna see a lot of overlap there between the two communities, Kev?
There's definitely a bit. I think some of our largest holders are also deep into Azuki. I believe at least 2 of the final boss holders, what are the one-of-ones. There's 5 in the collection. And so there's definitely that. I do think that we have kind of carved a little bit of our own lane. Obviously, now with the latest updates on Azuki side, they're much more story focused. I've always thought of Azuki more of a tech brand that does art and stuff as well, but more tech focused. And we've always been much more, like my brothers are more like independent filmmakers, right? That want to produce something. I think that's more the angle. And it seems also that the community that we're attracting, and I have like a group of 20 or 30 that I could name and that are really close in the core group. Those are all like the same type of people like us. And I do feel like we're kind of different in that sense. And so, yeah, there's definitely overlap. Obviously, we have similar art. People love anime, they're diehard anime fans, etc. But yeah, I feel like we're a little bit in our own corner. I would also say Final Boss is definitely an anime brand. We're also definitely more of a storytelling. Like our story has always been very, first, right? And yeah, for Azuki, I still don't know exactly what it is. And
Right.
so, yeah.
I guess the reason I'm asking that is because, I mean, in the 2021 cycle for NFTs, there was a lot of tribalism, right? Most NFT communities were very siloed. They did not go outside of their own brand. Nobody was interacting with each other. In fact, there was often drama between different PFP tribes, whereas here in the recent last maybe year and a half, it seems like NFT collectors are NFT collectors, man. It's like we're all kind of in it together. So I didn't know if that same thing kind of translated over into the anime brands, or if there's like it's still a little more tribal, if there's a lot of like celebrating each other. I was just curious how that experience has been as an anime PFP.
No, I think we're now in a much better place. Initially, like before we launched, my brother once made a famous threat. I don't know if you guys even know about it, but he gave his opinion on the episode that they released, and that backfired. So we definitely got a bit of tribalism at us pointed back then. But I feel like it slowly has also been like turning around again, and just having a lot of conversations there as well. I also see a lot of people that are collecting Bosus that are not even into anime. I guess like there's always different reasons for everybody, right? Some people just like collect. The other day we got a big collector in who I think about 30 or 40, and he's really sad on their Instagram strategy and seeing that I'm frontward facing, but he never watches anime, and so there's always a bit of different reasons. But and I've had close contact with the team always from Azuki, and so I've always I'm excited to see what they're going to take it out with anime chain, etc.
Very cool. What's up, Dejani? Go ahead, brother.
I have one question, 2 questions. One is, why should someone change his PFP to Final Bosu? Because we see that a lot of people are wearing the same PFP for years, and it's very difficult to make a growth there, especially if you want to get bigger holders. And the second one, I want to be direct. Is there a plan ever for a Bosu token?
It's a very direct question.
Why switch PFP? I don't think I can answer that. I think that it's really up to the people, right? Like what they enjoy. Obviously, if they're into storytelling and the brand resonates, especially if I look at our core holders that genuinely care about the art, right? Like sometimes see Clint Toshi in the audience, like Spaceman, Epos, like they're doing streams, they're going through the trades, they're actually looking through the collection, learning about what each story means for which trade. It's like genuinely care for the IP as much as that we have, and so I think it's always a question for each person to answer. Like, do you like it, right? And do you want to be part of a franchise that's being built up right with you? Like every every step we take is kind of like co-creating, right? Today when we spoke a bit about the collector profile, our community can come and create around their characters. We then have animation production doing that we can then do around those characters and really bring the brand to life. And yeah, if that's something you're like, this is really awesome. Like, I can be part of an anime brand close up firsthand while it's being built out. Then I think a PFP on Final Basu could be awesome for you. Basu token, never say no. Not in the plans now. I think we have a long way to go to establish ourselves as a brand first for that to make any type of sense. And so yeah, I feel like we have a long way to go to establish ourselves. We've been in the space quite a while, right? Sometimes people speak about the legacy brands. We've launched the first collection in 2022 February, and so we actually classify as one of the first brands in the space. But in terms of where we're at, how the sentiment is around Final Basu, we're still of a small group of true believers that think this is going somewhere, and that group I think needs to expand a lot more before trying to reach an even larger audience, right? To feel it's a step-by-step thing. So we'll see, but definitely not closed off against it.
Awesome. Very awesome. And by the way, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, Johnny. I like changing my PFP. I change it often. I don't think it's that important to stick to one PFP all the time.
A badge, bro.
Yeah, you ain't wrong, dude. My account does not have the motion it once had with I used to be able to I don't know why X would review I used to change my PFP so often that X started like pushing me to the front of the line and giving me back. I could get my blue check back in a couple hours. And then I had a badge for a long time, and now that it's gone, dude, I'm cooked. I still haven't got my blue check back. But yeah, I don't know, man. I've never had any problem changing my PFP and then like losing timeline motion. I also don't tweet a lot though, but whatever. Moonhigh, do you think you can ask a question without fudding an entire blockchain? Maybe let's try to keep it positive here, buddy. Go ahead.
Look, I wasn't fudding. Okay, I'm sorry that you took it like that. I was giving them a mere pointer when running a blockchain, as I have a lot of experience doing that. So they need to learn from me. No, I'm kidding. But Kev, the user, or I'm sorry, you're calling them the profiles. You were basically deciding if you were going to change from abstract to ETH to launch these profiles. You said.
Yeah,
collectors profiles. Yeah,
I still don't have a beautiful name for it, so we're locking that in. But it's more of a character hop / collector profile because we have a lot of people creating in our community, and it's not kind of centralized and communicated always with our team. And so now we will have a profile where they can literally go and create like all the basic things around the character, so we can then use that. And at the same time, there's rewards, there's badges, there's mem points, there's some gamified system to level up. One of the reasons was this, but we're still fine tuning it. It's very close, and it's not super far away, but definitely wanted to move first.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. When you're building that kind of stuff, I mean, if you had to build it just for abstracts, but I mean, no, it doesn't go on ETH too, right? Like, because it's a layer 2, so it's the same coding, right?
Yeah, no, it's all the same. It doesn't matter. It's just the connection part and all the. I'm not a technical person, but I believe all the contracts, right, to pull in all the data, etc. It will be different, but I guess the tech is very similar.
I love profile stuff like that, collectors profiles, and like Bearish has when you go on their site. I love all that shit. I think it's nice. It's nice and clean. You know what you got from the project and what you're earning, et cetera, et cetera. So I love that. Good luck, man. Behind you.
Well, Kev, as we wrap up, what are going to be the last final steps like moving forward? We've seen that there's going to be just an airdrop coming back to everyone, so nobody has to freak out or panic or do anything like that.
Basically the same migration as Fugs, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Just the last part, I believe, is a bit different. So once we do the move, so everybody moves to EVM, wait there at 14th, close off the abstract, open ETH, airdrop to everybody that's there. If you miss that, there will be a claim page where you can directly claim it and get it over. So, but just if you do it in the first, there is a soulbound token that we're giving with. That's also going to be an NFT in the profile that's coming after.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, it's going well so far. Volume, big uptick in volume, floor up 30%. Somebody just swept 5. just now,
Nice.
and somebody else swept 5. I'm not going to name any names, but they are in the crowd.
Shout out to Hans, my good
Yo,
friend.
that's
really?
what I'm talking
Look
about.
at Hans
Yeah.
fucking coming in hot.
Yeah, Hans, by the way, in my in my abstract stream, suggesting that I should get a pink fanny pack instead of the one I have to make a clear statement. I don't know what clear statement he thinks I'm trying to make, but
That's hilarious. Oh my god. All right, well, cool. Well, Kev, you're always welcome on stage, brother, no matter what chain you are on. We love hearing from you.
Let's not get too hasty. If you go to Solana, I'm gonna fun.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Don't be busting up on Cardano or some shit like that and being like, hey guys. Yeah, don't need that. But anyways, yeah, we've been going for fucking 2 hours and 15 minutes.
That's right. I got shit to do.
But yeah, if you have anything that comes up, just hop in, request, and yeah, we'd love to hear from you. So other than that, everybody else, we are going to be back tomorrow. We're going to be doing some video creation. Piff will be back tomorrow. I think Tolly's going to be doing some stuff at Consensus or whatever. I don't know. He's not going to be here unless he makes a surprise appearance. But make sure you come in tomorrow, watch on stream. Going to be doing some more Bearish content for the Records tournament. And not even just for the Records tournament, just to help you grow your IP for many, many years in the future and trying to work through some new tools. So I'm excited for this one, get some different kind of content on the timeline. But yeah, make sure you tune in for that. Kev, do you have one last thing to say?
Yeah, no, I was actually going to DM you, but love to come on your stream one time and maybe in a couple of weeks when we're a bit further in like the short film that we're creating and show you guys like a bit of the process, how we're using it and producing it. It will be awesome.
Oh, dude, that'd be great. Kev, out of the three of us here, I am definitely a big anime head. I mean, I don't know about these guys, but I love me some good anime. So that's I'll be really looking forward to that.
Look,
I'm not that much of an
shit in my
anime.
room.
I'm not
That's
a huge anime
the
fan.
fact that Jesus thinks that that's anime shit is exactly to my point.
No, I'm fucking with you. No, I know it's not. I know it's not.
I've never actually watched anime before, but I do appreciate the art. I like the art, and I think Bosu's probably have some of the cleanest anime art out there. Very appealable.
Kenny, the anime on YouPorn does not count, so don't.
Dude, I've never watched it, but again, I'm a little bit older, so it may have just been.
Okay. Kenny knows all about them tentacles. That's for sure. If I had to guess.
All right, cool. Yeah, Kev, we can schedule that. Just hop in
Isn't
my
it called
DMs.
hentai?
And we will get that done. I promise you, I won't harm you. There will be no founders harmed in the DMs. But yeah, that'd be exciting. Be a good switch up for us too. So, yeah, and we'll make sure we're doing it when Kyle's off so he can rub one out as he's watching all the way this goes. So
Hey now.
Yeah.
Hey now, the stream's only from the waist up, buddy. You never do know.
Whatever. All right, cool. Make sure if you have not set a reminder, go on my profile, Bearish account. Also put out a post with that space for tomorrow. Either way, we're going to be here at 11 o'clock, same time as always, live, ready to roll. Until then, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Check
Bye, everybody.
All right, peace. Woo! What a long stream. Everybody have a good day. Peace.